Welcome back to Time for Gardening. If you've ever dreamt of that lush, romantic English cottage look but only have a tiny suburban backyard or a small patio to work with, this video is for you. Today we're diving into the magical world of spring blooms, focusing on the ultimate power couple of the garden, peonies and foxgloves. I've gathered 20 unique, space-saving design inspirations that will turn even the smallest corner of your home into a floral sanctuary. Trust me, you'll want to stick around until the very end, because our final tip is a total game changer for upcycling lovers. Let's get growing. There is perhaps nothing more quintessentially American than a crisp white picket fence serving as the backbone of a cottage garden. This classic structure provides a clean architectural boundary that defines your small space while offering a bright canvas that makes every petal stand out. By using the fence as a literal frame, you create a sense of intentionality and curb appeal that stops neighbors in their tracks. Building on this structural foundation, the soft, billowing heads of peonies lean gracefully against the slats, while the vertical spires of foxgloves reach toward the sky. The contrast between the rigid white wood and the organic, flowing lines of the flowers creates a dynamic visual tension. This layering ensures that even the smallest patch of land feels like a lush, curated sanctuary. When space is at a premium, repurposed whiskey barrels offer a rustic, farmhouse-style solution that adds instant character to a patio or small yard. These weathered wooden vessels provide deep soil pockets, which are essential for the heavy root systems of peonies. Grouping them in odd numbers like 3 or 5 creates a natural asymmetrical look that mimics the effortless charm of a larger meadow. To make these clusters truly captivating, use the height of the foxgloves to create a thriller element in the center of the barrel. Surround them with the lush, filler foliage of peonies that will eventually erupt into massive, fragrant blooms. This contained approach allows you to control the soil quality perfectly, ensuring your spring display is vibrant and healthy regardless of your ground soil condition. A garden should always feel like a journey, and nothing sparks the imagination quite like a weathered iron gate tucked between high garden walls. Even in a tiny backyard, an entrance draped in greenery creates a threshold moment that signals a transition into a private world. It invites the viewer to wonder what lies beyond, making a small space feel much larger than its physical dimensions. Framing this entrance with intention is where the magic happens. By planting foxgloves as tall sentinels on either side of the gate, you draw the eye upward, while the heavy, low-growing peonies ground the scene with their opulent fragrance. This combination of vertical drama and horizontal softness ensures that the first step into your garden is a sensory experience they won't soon forget. A winding path isn't just a way to get from point A to point B. It's an invitation to slow down and notice the hum of life in your garden. By using soft gravel or stepping stones that meander through your planting beds, you create pockets of discovery. This layout encourages visitors to lean in and appreciate the intricate freckles inside a foxglove bell or the delicate layers of a peony bloom. As you walk this path, you'll notice how the garden comes alive with bees and hummingbirds drawn to the nectar-rich foxgloves. The peonies act as a soft landing pad for pollinators, creating a vibrant ecosystem right outside your door. Designing with wildlife in mind adds a layer of movement and sound to your video that static gardens simply can't match. Injecting a bit of whimsy into your garden can be as simple as leaning a vintage bicycle against a tree or fence. An old frame, perhaps with a bit of charming rust or a coat of sage green paint, provides an unexpected support for your plants. It tells a story of a garden that has evolved over time, blending man-made history with the relentless beauty of nature. To integrate the bike seamlessly, allow the peonies to overflow from the front basket like a floral explosion, while the foxgloves grow through the spokes of the wheels. This technique merges the hard lines of the metal with the delicate textures of spring, turning a piece of junk into a high-end garden feature. It's a focal point that is guaranteed to spark conversation and high engagement in your comments section. Color theory can transform a chaotic patch of dirt into a professional-grade landscape by arranging your peonies and foxgloves in a color gradient, starting with deep, moody magentas and slowly fading into soft peaches and creams. You create a visual flow that is incredibly soothing to the eye. This ombre effect gives the garden a sense of rhythm and sophisticated designer flair. This transition of tones works particularly well in the soft morning light of spring. As the sun hits the lighter blooms at the end of the border, they appear to glow, while the darker flowers at the start provide a sense of depth and richness. It's a painterly approach to gardening that makes every frame of your video look like a fine art photograph. Every small garden needs a focal point to anchor the design, and a classic stone birdbath is the perfect choice for a cottage aesthetic. It provides a moment of stillness and a vital water source for local birds, adding life and movement to the space. Placing it in the center of a circular bed creates a formal symmetry that balances the wild nature of cottage plants. Encircling the stone basin with a ring of lush peonies creates a soft, cloud-like base that hides the pedestal, making the birdbath appear as if it's floating. The tall foxgloves can be planted just behind it to add height, creating a layered tiers of interest. This setup not only looks beautiful, but also creates a peaceful soundtrack of splashing water for your garden tours. When you don't have much floor space, the only way to go is up. A vertical wall of foxgloves planted against a dark stained fence or a brick wall creates a massive impact without taking up more than a foot of ground space. The dark backdrop makes the vibrant colors of the foxglove bells stand out with incredible clarity, turning a boring boundary into a living tapestry. To ground this vertical display, plant a row of peonies at the base to provide a thick, green skirt of foliage. This hides the legs of the foxgloves, which can sometimes look a bit sparse, and replaces them with lush, glossy leaves and heavy flowers. The result is a two-story floral display that maximizes every square inch of your small American backyard. Creating a room within your garden gives you a destination to enjoy the fruits of your labor. A simple wrought iron bistro set tucked into a corner becomes a romantic escape when it's surrounded by high-fragrance flowers. It's the perfect spot for a morning coffee or an afternoon tea, allowing you to be completely immersed in the sights and scents of spring. To create a sense of enclosure, plant your foxgloves and peonies closely around the seating area to act as living walls. The tall foxgloves provide privacy from neighbors, while the peonies offer a perfumed embrace at shoulder height. This cozy nook turns your garden from a mere hobby into a lifestyle space that your viewers will find incredibly aspirational. Vertical gardening doesn't always mean planting in the ground. Sometimes it means using vintage props to gain height. An old wooden orchard ladder or a step ladder can be transformed into a tiered plant stand. This allows you to display potted peonies at different eye levels, which is especially useful for showing off varieties with intricate double blooms that might otherwise face downward. Complementing this wooden structure, you can plant foxgloves in the soil directly around the base of the ladder. As the foxgloves grow, they will weave in and out of the rungs, creating a look that is perfectly integrated with the garden. This setup is ideal for renters or those with small patios who want the cottage look without digging up the lawn. A garden shouldn't disappear when the sun goes down. In fact, a moonlight garden can be the most magical time to explore. By selecting only white peonies and pale, creamy foxgloves, you create a space that reflects the light of the moon and the stars. These cool tones stand out against the dark shadows of the night, creating a ghostly, ethereal beauty. As the twilight settles in, these white blooms seem to vibrate with light, while their fragrance often becomes more intense in the cool evening air. This color palette is incredibly sophisticated and provides a serene atmosphere for evening relaxation. It's a unique take on the cottage garden that focuses on atmosphere and elegance over bright, loud colors. There is a certain beauty in a garden that looks like it planted itself. The no-dig approach encourages a naturalistic style where foxgloves are allowed to self-seed and pop up in unexpected places. This creates a planned chaos that feels authentic and lived in, moving away from the stiff, formal lines of traditional landscaping. Among this wild growth, the peonies act as the anchors of the garden, returning year after year in the same spot while the foxgloves dance around them. This interaction creates a tangled, romantic look that is synonymous with the English cottage style, but perfectly adapted for the American climate. It's a low-maintenance way to achieve a high-impact aesthetic that feels truly whimsical. many American neighborhoods, the mailbox is the first thing people see, so why not make it a floral masterpiece? Replacing the patch of grass around your mailbox with a mini cottage garden adds instant character to your home's exterior. It's a small, manageable project that yields massive results in terms of neighborhood charm. By planting peonies at the base of the mailbox post, you provide a sturdy, green foundation that looks good all season. The foxgloves, with their tall, striking silhouettes, can be planted behind the mailbox to frame it without obstructing the mail carrier's access. This functional beauty turns a utilitarian object into a highlight of your property's landscape. A potager or kitchen cottage garden blends beauty with utility by mixing flowers and vegetables. Pairing the ruffled ornamental leaves of kale or Swiss chard with the opulent petals of peonies creates a fascinating texture play. It's a practical way to grow food while ensuring your vegetable patch looks as beautiful as a flower bed. Integrating foxgloves into this mix adds height and attracts essential pollinators that will help your fruiting vegetables thrive. The contrast between the edible greens and the ornamental pinks and purples creates a rich, layered tapestry that feels abundant and resourceful. This approach appeals to the modern gardener who wants their space to be both productive and stunning. In a small garden, a vintage mirror is a secret weapon that can double your floral impact instantly. By hanging a weatherproofed mirror on a fence or wall, you reflect the blooms of your peonies and foxgloves back at the viewer. This creates the illusion of a much deeper garden, making a tiny backyard feel like a sprawling estate. Positioning is key to this trick. Place the mirror so it reflects the most colorful part of your border or a sun-drenched corner. As the wind blows, the movement of the foxgloves in the reflection adds a dreamlike quality to the garden. It's a clever design hack that adds light, depth, and a touch of Alice in Wonderland magic to your outdoor space. For those who love the modern farmhouse aesthetic, galvanized steel tubs are a must-have. These industrial-cool containers provide a large volume of soil, which helps keep the roots of your peonies cool during the late spring heat. The silver metallic finish of the tubs provides a sharp, clean contrast to the soft, romantic textures of the flowers. To maximize this look, plant the foxgloves toward the back of the tub to create a wall of color, and let the peonies spill over the front edge. The combination of rugged metal and delicate blooms is a staple of American cottage style that looks incredible on camera. These tubs are also easy to move, allowing you to chase the sun and keep your garden looking its best. A fire pit is the heart of the American backyard, but it can often look like a bare, scorched circle. By surrounding a sunken stone fire pit with a dense border of spring flowers, you turn a functional seating area into a floral amphitheater. It creates a sense of intimacy and hygge that makes evening gatherings feel extra special. As you sit by the fire, the tall foxgloves act as a natural screen, blocking out the wind and the world. The peonies, planted at knee height, release their sweet fragrance as the air cools, creating a multi-sensory experience. This design proves that you don't have to choose between a social backyard and a gardener's backyard. An arbor is more than just a support for climbing plants. It's a gateway to a dream. A simple wooden or metal archway provides a sense of vertical structure that defines the entrance to your small cottage garden. It draws the eye upward and creates a picture frame effect for whatever lies on the other side. By planting foxgloves right at the base of the arbor's pillars, you reinforce the vertical lines of the structure with living color. The peonies can then be planted in the surrounding beds to weight the bottom of the scene with their heavy, lush blooms. This creates a harmonious balance that feels like something out of a classic storybook. One of the secrets to a stunning garden is the play of opposites. Peonies, with their soft, pillowy, and almost translucent petals, represent the ultimate in floral softness. In contrast, foxgloves have a very architectural, rigid form with their bell-shaped flowers stacked in a precise vertical line. When you plant these two together, their differences highlight each other's beauty. The fluffiness of the peony makes the foxglove look more dramatic and tall, while the foxglove makes the peony look even more delicate. This tactile and visual contrast ensures that your garden never looks flat or boring, even from a distance. Art doesn't have to stay inside the house. An old window frame can become a stunning piece of garden decor. By hanging a frame on a fence, you create a window into another world, even if it's just looking at your own plants. It adds a layer of shabby chic history that fits perfectly with the cottage garden theme. Using this frame to capture a view of your tallest foxgloves creates a living painting that changes every day. The peonies, planted just below the frame, act as a floral window box that grounds the display. This creative upcycling is a great way to add personality to your garden while keeping your budget small and your style unique. I hope these 20 ideas have sparked your imagination and shown you that you don't need a sprawling estate to create a garden that feels like a fairy tale. Whether you're planting in vintage whiskey barrels or creating a glowing moonlight border, the secret is all in the layering and the textures. If you found a spark of inspiration today, please hit that like button It really helps our gardening community grow. Don't forget to subscribe to Thyme for Gardening for more seasonal tips and floral magic. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 20 styles are you planning to try this spring? Drop a comment below and let's chat. Happy gardening!